Thanks for tuning in to You See Me, focusing on the battle of self-love, acceptance, abuse, spirituality, and much more. Your host, Tina Wynn, will be sharing various ways and strategies that she used to overcome grief, addiction, and depression. You See Me is a self-expressed term Tina uses as a way of making people see the real you. For people to see you, you must first see yourself.
Hi, guys, and welcome to the You See Me podcast. I am your host, Tina Wynn, and thank you guys for coming to see me. You can catch me right here every Saturday on the We Empower Network at 4 and on all my other social platforms at Tina Wynn. Thank you guys for coming to see me. I have been seeing y'all. I hope y'all have been enjoying seeing yourselves. So, in light of our last episodes, we have been discussing leading, following, teaching, which leads me to our surroundings. What are you surrounding yourself with? That is the question of the day. Are we surrounding ourselves with things that match the things we are trying to manifest into our lives? Because we become products of our environments, guys. We do. The things all around you will become a part of you if you don't properly surround yourself with you. And what I mean by surrounding yourself with you is in this world, we're going to encounter spirits. Remember our episodes, guys. And if you are not careful, those spirits will attach themselves to you and you become a product of your environment. I remember long before Quita, as a little girl, my mom will always say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. And I always used to think my mother was bugging out because I used to always say, no, mommy, it's not me, it's them. It's not me, it's them. No, Tina, it's you. The people that you surround yourself with is you. That's exactly who you are. You're not going to hang around people who do not have the same mindset as you, who are not headed in the same direction as you, and who do not want the same things out of life as you, unless some part of you has an interest in that. And that's exactly what Quita did. Quita surrounded herself with like-minded people who thought the way she did, who functioned the way she did, who acted the way she did. And we all did the same bunch of nothing. We became products of our environments. We learned how to adapt. We taught ourselves how to adapt to the things that were around us, that were surrounding us. And this is why it is crucial that we protect our surroundings. Because if you don't know what or who is around you, any and everything is going to attach itself to you. And I did that recently, guys. I was caught up in a situation where Tina thought that she can still be surrounded around people, places, and things. And in the process of me surrounding myself, guys, with these people, places, and things, I almost became a part of the things that was going on with these people in these places. And it's very tricky because we sometimes cannot avoid our surroundings when we're at work, or sometimes because of our finances, or just because of the luck of the hand of life. We can't always control exactly where we live or the neighborhood that we live in. We can't control what's going on around us, but we can control what we choose to surround ourselves with that surround us. And Today, Tina chooses to surround herself with people that are after the kingdom, people who have the same mindset as me. Remember our mindsets episodes, guys, because if you're not sowing, you're not growing. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it. Do not love the world or the things in it. And these are not just my thoughts. These are facts from our Bible, guys. Facts from my Bible. And that's exactly what Quita did. Quita loved the world. Quita just wanted the acceptance of everybody. Quita wanted everybody to like her, everybody. I wanted to be surrounded around everything and everyone that I came in contact with because I didn't know how to surround myself with me, with giving me love. So I surrounded myself with any and everything. I was a complete attention junkie, guys. And today I see a lot of that. I see a lot of attention junkies. You have the people that are so just thirsty for attention that they're willing to drink from any cup that's handed to them. And you have to be careful. Remember, what are we following? Who are we letting lead us? What are we teaching ourselves? Because if you are surrounded around people who are just drinking from any and every cup, and then you start drinking from any and every cup, what lessons is being taught, and what are you teaching yourself? Tina was teaching herself how to be just like everybody that I was surrounded around. See, because we sit and we criticize people. Oh, girl, you see her, but you're sitting right there amongst them. You ever met that group of people that they'll look down on the people next to them, but you're surrounded by them. So that's pretty much, as a child, what my mother was trying to tell me. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Because if you're not out here doing the things that these young ladies is doing, why are you surrounded around them, Tina? Why would you want to be around people who are not doing the things that you are doing, who are not going to lead you where you are going? See, people get offended nowadays when I don't have time. Because I'll tell people, listen, I clearly just don't have time for it. If it's not helping my business get where it needs to, if it's not giving me some insight to Christ or getting me closer to, then I really just don't have time. I have patience for my patients, and that's my motto. I work in healthcare field, and that's the only people that I have patience for is my patients. Because and it has nothing so much to do with the financial pay that I receive from them. I receive a bigger blessing. I am surrounded around people who are grateful for the things that I deliver to them. They show gratitude in their attitude, in their behaviors, in the things that they say and do. Quita wasn't surrounded around that. Quita was surrounded around people who took advantage of me, who didn't see me, didn't appreciate me, who didn't teach Tina quite how to love herself. And most of us live in environments and are surrounded around that type of mindset. So we have to learn, guys, how to shift our mindset no matter what our surroundings are.
Hey, 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 how you guys doing? This is Regina Hutt, the wellness practitioner at Empower Mornings. Join me every Monday at noon to work out with Regina on One Network.
See, you could take me and you can put me by myself in a closed-in room and my mindset is still going to be the same. My surroundings no longer dictate how I feel about myself. See, when I was living in a hood and, I lived in these slum apartments with these slum lords, and that's how my apartment reflected that's how I lived and that's how I felt about it. There got a point where I stopped cleaning. I just stopped caring. My surroundings had completely reflected everything that I was feeling about myself. And then the people in my surroundings, because remember, the people that we follow, the people that we allow to lead us, we become those spirits, they latch, they start to jump. I didn't get dressed. I didn't do my hair. I stopped caring about how I looked because I was surrounded around a bunch of people who didn't care how they looked at one point. People were outside in pajamas. People were outside with the crust still in their eyes, just rolled straight out of bed with the slob still on the side of their mouth, and they just outside on the block. And that's how my surroundings was. That's how everybody looked. So that's how I started to look. Again, you become a product of your environment. What are you surrounding yourself with? I was surrounding myself with people who had no plans, had no goals. We ain't had no plan. Whatever time we went to sleep, we went to sleep. Whatever time we woke up, we woke up. Whatever happened for the day, happened for the day. These was my surroundings. Now I surround myself with people who have plans, people who have goals, people who have agendas. Why? Because it helps Tina keep her agenda. It helps Tina stick to her plan. It helps Tina follow her goals. We must surround ourselves around the things that we are trying to attract into our lives. Again, laws of attraction. I'm not going to take myself and go sit myself in a shooting gallery knowing that it's not my intentions to shoot up. Why would I want that to be my surroundings? Why would I go sit in the middle of a shooting gallery if that's not my intention? So we have to be careful of who we surround ourselves with, because I found I was surrounded around someone that I thought wanted the same things that I wanted. But we touched on attitude, and I don't know if you guys know your ABCs, but not just your traditional ABCs. There are 3 ABCs of life, guys: attitude, behaviors, and choices. The behaviors that this person was displaying didn't match the attitude. See, because sometimes, attitude is what we want our attitude to be. Attitude is the first thing that people will meet when encountering us. What does your attitude say about you? Your attitude is saying one thing, your mouth is saying another, and then your behavior is showing me something completely different. And my choice is to not deal with none of it, because none of it makes sense to me. It may make sense to you because you're the one presenting it. But when I come to a realization that the people that I'm surrounded by don't even see theyself, don't even know theyself, where does that leave me? See, because we get caught up in this blame game. We surround ourselves with people that we know are not headed in the same direction as us, that we know don't want the same things out of life as us. And then when they pull us in the opposite direction, or their choice and their behavior and their attitude, when their alphabet starts pointing in a direction in which they want it to go, then now we're upset. Again, guys, season 1, we have to accept what we expect. You cannot go into a situation expecting someone to make a choice that's yours. Again, in this life, choices is the only thing that belongs to you. And that's a deeper conversation for a later show in a later episode. But every single thing in life from the beginning of creation is a choice. Is a choice. That is the most essential alphabet that you will ever need to encounter. You need all 3. And those are the only three, A, B, and C. You need to have a good attitude, display good behavior, and make good choices. Because again, your attitude is the first thing people gonna meet when they meet you, and your behavior is just a reflection of your attitude. So what is your attitude about you? What is your attitude about life? What is your behavior displaying? See, when I had an attitude that I didn't care and I didn't want to care, it showed in my behavior, and my choice was to surround myself around other people who didn't care. I didn't surround myself around people who cared because that's not what I wanted to hear. I didn't want to hear people preaching the Bible to me. I didn't want to hear people giving me constructive criticism. I wasn't surrounding myself around people who was getting up and going to work and doing positive things, because that's not the choices that I was making. That's not what my behavior was displaying, and that's definitely not what my attitude was saying. Today, Tina's alphabet is in order. My attitude states that I care about myself, that I want something out of life, and I surround myself with people that are displaying that same type of attitude. My behaviors, they align. My attitude and behaviors align. It goes A, then B, and then C. My choice is to live a Christ-filled life. I no longer make spontaneous choices and allow myself to just be surrounded by people that are making spontaneous choices. If you don't have a plan, your plan is to fail and you will become the plan. Tina has a plan today. Tina's plan is to stay surrounded with things that are going to keep me empowered, to stay surrounded by things that are going to keep me motivated. See, it's not by coincidence that I moved out of my old neighborhood. And when you think of your surroundings and you think of your environment, because I hear a lot of people say, oh, you take you exactly where you go. Absolutely. And I took Tina everywhere I went. Tina's here with me now. Tina's here. Tina's always going to be with me because I got to live with Tina. However, what I did not do is take Quita with me. And that's where I lose a lot of people, because they hear me reference her and they hear me talk about her. And yes, Quita is my alter ego. She is a part of my mind. She is a part of my thoughts. She is no longer a part of my behaviors. My attitude toward Quita is I no longer have to make the choice to feed her. Remember, what we feed grow and what we starve die. Yeah, she's always going to reside inside of me. I don't have to surround myself with her. I don't have to surround myself with people who act like her or who think like her. That's not my choice for today. My choice for today is to surround myself who think like Tina. Iron sharpens iron. I cannot get a point from a broken blade. I can't do it. I could get cut from a broken blade, but I ain't gonna get a straight point. And we have to be careful of surrounding ourselves with broken blades, because not only will you get cut, they're gonna bleed all over you. And again, remember in my earlier episodes, if you are not self-disciplined and you are not grounded in who you are going to go any which way the wind blows. And somebody is going to come along and mess up your whole environment and knock you right up off of the ground. You're going to be right uprooted from where you at. We must surround ourselves with things that align with the things that we want out of life. So as I was saying, I caught myself encountering some of these old people from my old life. And I found myself surrounded right back in the center of all the mess and all the chaos that I have been trying to get rid of to begin with. Why? Because I didn't use good judgment. And remember, for wisdom, you must obtain good judgment. I had the knowledge, I had the experience, but I wasn't using good judgment. I was allowing Quita to think for me with the expectation that because I changed and because my mind has grown and because and sometimes that's that double-edged sword of Tina being that teacher. Once I get information and once I learn things, I want to teach it to people. I want to show people what I know. But I have to be careful not to surround myself with people who love things of this world, because the Bible teaches me not to love the things of this world. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it is his. So I can't love anything in it until I love him, because it's not mine. It doesn't belong to me. And that was one of Quita's biggest downfalls. I always wanted things that didn't belong to me. I never knew how to just accept me, accept the things that were me. I'm surrounded with a whole bunch of stuff that I thought was going to make me love me, when all of that stuff was just temporary. Because people could show you love all day. People could embrace you. You could be surrounded around a room full of love. But if you don't feel it for you, then what are you surrounded around? You just surrounded around a bunch of spirits. And remember, spirits latchkey. They latchkey. They need something to attach to. A spirit cannot operate without the flesh, and the flesh cannot operate without the spirit. And not every spirit that you surround yourself around is going to be for you. This is why you have to know what you are following, who you letting lead you, what you're teaching yourself. You got to be self-disciplined. You have to have a positive attitude, display good behaviors, and make good choices. You must use wisdom. And there's a whole Bible out there with the whole book in it called Proverbs, which is the wisdom chapter. It teaches you all about her. I suggest you guys, as part of getting to see yourself and wanting to see yourself, get acquainted with it. Because a lot of times we take other people's knowledge and that's what we do. And that's not what Tina's here for. If you guys are following me, I always suggest for people to test my information, because I test other people's information. And that's just part of being a nerd. Trust no one's information but your own. So it's no shade or no disrespect to anyone, because I learn a lot from a lot of people. That's all I'm surrounded by, is people who are teaching me. I test the spirit by the spirit. Iron sharpens iron, and I surround myself with iron. That's all I surround myself with. And as sharp as the iron is that I surround myself with, oh, best believe that when they finish rattling my brain, see, because Tina's a thinker. Remember, I love to think. So as quick as somebody give me something to think about, I am going to dissect that entire thought to the finest thought, add my own thoughts, create some new thoughts, and I am going to extend that thought into something further, because that's just what I do. I surround myself with knowledge. I surround myself with things that are going to help me continue to obtain knowledge, that are going to help me continue to see me, because that is the ultimate goal of this life, is to see yourself. See, we was not put here to enjoy seeing everybody else. We was put here to enjoy seeing ourselves. Our spirits was afforded the opportunity of carrying flesh for a reason. And that is a whole nother topic as well. I don't want to lose y'all with too much at once. I want you guys to stay surrounded with love, with peace, with laughter, with joy. Stop surrounding yourself with things that are going to make you happy for the moment. Remember, happiness is temporary. It does not last. If one person come this way and make you happy and that person go, your happiness is affected. You want to surround yourself with things that no matter what happens, no matter how the wind blows, no matter how it's dealt to you or given to you remain the same. Nothing is going to hinder you or have you thrown off balance. My Bible is what I surround myself with. Scripture is what I surround myself with because it remains the same. No matter what I'm feeling or no matter what I'm going through, my word remains consistent. It remains the same. And as long as I keep surrounding myself with that word and allowing that word to surround itself in my heart and in my mind, I live it out. Because remember, thoughts become action and action becomes you. You have to put your thoughts to words. Thoughts become words become action, action become character, and character becomes you. And that's the whole saying. I gave you guys the short version, but if you want the whole version, there it is. We must practice good ABCs. And to recap for you guys, good ABCs is having a good attitude, displaying good behavior, and making good choices. Surrounding yourself with things that are in alignment with the things that you are trying to manifest out of this life. You cannot surround yourself with nonsense and expect to produce good things up out of it. If you want to produce good things, you have to put good things in. Remember, you remember that pot, that pot of chicken. You could saute it, you could fry it, you could bake it, barbecue it, but it's still gonna be that same old chicken when you're done. If you want steak, you're gonna have to put steak in that pot. You can't put chicken in and expect to get steak out. And life works the same way. What you put in is what you will get right back out. And if we are not putting anything into ourselves and we are not surrounding ourselves with people or with things that are going to put anything into us, we're not going to get anything back out. And why would you want to surround yourself with a whole bunch of stuff that ain't going to get you nowhere? Because Tina's here to tell you, well, for me, let me speak for I. Part of this process, I learned how to keep the focus on myself. That's one of the things that they teach you in recovery and in therapy. So I know you guys notice I use a lot of I statements, and that's part of my tools because I focus on Tina today. When Tina was surrounded by everybody else, she focused on everybody else and she ended up doing what everybody else was doing. I completely became that product of my environment. So now I surround myself with I thoughts. And when you surround yourself with I thoughts, it makes it easier for you to see yourself, to own yourself, and to remain accountable for the choices, which is letter C, of your life. Because choices dictate our entire life. Life is a choice because we can always choose to die. We could choose to jump right off the ledge and end it all. So if you are choosing to be alive today, because that is a choice, whether you realize you're making it or not, choose you. Choose to have a good attitude. Choose to display good behavior. Choose to surround yourself with things that are everlasting. Christ is everlasting. Christ is eternal. Stop surrounding yourself with temporary people in temporary places that's doing temporary things. I want you guys to go out, see yourselves, come back, see me, surround yourself with things that are going to help you see you. And most importantly, enjoy seeing you. enjoy seeing others, and thank you for coming to see me. I am your host, Tina Wynn, and it has been fun. Until next time.